Right guys, what herb garden would be complete without a lovely bit of mint? Beautiful. I've got this one here that I've grown out of one of these little pots actually. I'm not a big one for buying these, but I saw this and I thought, you know what, I'm going to give it a go. If you have a look at these have come up lovely on my windowsill. Absolutely beautiful, beautiful. Now, mint can be a bit of a thug. If you let it just sit out in your beds, it will spread, it will take over the entire universe. So I'm just going to pop this one on now, as it is, into this pot here. So that's quite a step up. I'm not going to bother thinning them out or anything. There's probably 15 or 20 plants actually in that one there, given the amount of seeds that I put in. So I'm just going to let that grow on in that pot there. It's going to be absolutely lovely. I can just cut a few sprigs as and when I want it. Beautiful plant. Yeah, so I'm going to crack on and do that now. Mint. Use a bit of the old multi-purpose on this one. So I'm just going to pour enough in there. What I'm going to use is the actual pot that the whole thing came in, just to get myself the right size hole as well. So if I dig that around a bit, I'm just trying to avoid too much root disturbance. Not that I think this will bother mind too much. Nice messy job. There we go, and hopefully when I slide this out it'll keep its little hole. There we go. Look at that, so I've got my pot with a perfect size hole in it, so I know when I pull those out that can drop straight in there. Perfect. There we go, that's it all out in one. Drops in. Perfect. Done. Little prod. Drop of water. Lovely. Mint. Lovely. It's absolutely scorching hot today. I can't believe it. Still very early in the year though. I've seen a lot of people are putting a lot of tender plants, tomatoes and such outside. This is not summertime yet. This is just a nice little spring spell. So make the most of it while you can, because I'm guaranteeing pretty much that the cold weather will be back again. I think just this week, in fact, I'm looking at about 2 degrees at nighttime temperatures, which can quite easily trigger a frost. So it's still very much too early for a lot of things. I've still not planted, or sowed rather, anything like cucumbers or courgettes, anything like that, anything I class as like a really tender plant. But, you know, I'll probably get them in maybe, you know, the next week or so. Just because by the time, end of May, that I'll be putting them outside, I want them to be nice little plants. I don't want them to be too big and unmanageable or too small so they don't cope. So, yes, another thing, I've been struggling to get hold of any shallots this year, so I just bit the bullet and went down Tesco's and bought some of these. Just British shallots, really. So I'm going to whack them in some compost and see what happens, do you know what I mean? So, really, that is just that, you see. Still got the root ball on the bottom of it. Got pointy bit at the top, it's like a big onion set. Shallots grow slightly differently because instead of swelling up like an onion, what these guys will actually do is divide. So you plant one shallot and you'll get 6, 7, 8 shallots out of it as it splits and grows and splits and grows. So I don't know if these will actually grow, whether they've been treated with anything, but I'm certainly going to whack them in some compost, see if we can get some shoots coming out of them, and if we can, that's a bonus. Boom! Been attacked by a bumblebee. Ooh. Massive it is, it's like that with the head, that with the stinger. It's just there, buzzing around. It's trying to get me. Oh well, I have to man up and catch it, because it's not going anywhere under its own accord. Plant pot, piece of paper. We win the battle with the bee. Now, to get these shallots started, I'm just going to use one of these little pots here. How big's that? About 2 inches, is it? 2.5? 2.5 inch pot right there. So I'm just going to whack a bit of compost in there. Boom. And then pop a shallot in it like that. That's about it. Put a bit of extra compost around the sides and that. But hold them steady, otherwise when they put the roots down, they'll try and force themselves out of the pot. But yeah, it's nice and simple. Oosh. There we go. So we'll see if they get away. Give them a few weeks, see what happens. If nothing, just take them home and eat them, I suppose. Shallots. That's shallot. And there we go. I got 3, 6, 9, 12, 13 usable ones out of that. So if they do sprout up and grow like they should, that could be as much as like 100 shallots there. So let's keep my fingers crossed on that one, eh? What do you reckon, Mr. Pigeon? Didn't say a lot, he's shy. Right, get them in the greenhouse. So here we go, into the greenhouse. Obviously I've got my membrane in the bottom of there, so I'll just give these an initial good watering in like that. Apart from my little slip up there, doing it this way means that you don't really have to put any water into the top of the pots at all, because it all goes into the bottom where the roots are, prevents any moss and algae. That's the plan anyway, doesn't always work. Can't spend long in there at the minute. 23 degrees in here, out here, and then probably about 30 odd degrees in there even with the door open. So yeah, absolutely ridiculous. Rhubarb's not having a good time of it this year. It's been very warm, not a lot of rain. It's just absolutely gone crazy flowering. I come in this morning, I thought I'd checked it over, but apparently not, because it's all this that I've had to cut out. That was just from one plant. Redonkulous. Yeah, there's another one still coming down there, but he's too short to get at. So I think it's just the dry start to the year, and the sun this early on's just done them. That's sort of what a flower head will look like. Kind of a purpley brain looking affair coming out of a big bud. Take the stem off as far as you can. Don't matter if you take a few leaves off as well. But yeah, every single clump of these has gone to flower. It's been ridiculous. I don't know, you see how many stems I've had to cut in there. Oh, and I've even missed one, look at that. Another one there. Let's see if he'll snap. Oh, not very convincingly. But yeah, there's another one. Oh, there's another one down there as well. Look at that. Where are you? Probably can't see it. There you go. It's my camera work, that is. Oh. Daffodils have done their thing. Nice little splash of colour. Hollyhocks are on the second year, so hopefully they'll come up and give us a bit of colour this year. Same as these foxgloves, they sat in my greenhouse all winter. I stuck them out earlier on this year and they just went nope, died right back, but they are growing through again. And again, this is their second year, so hopefully we'll get something from them. And then I've just done a couple of little tentative sowings of cable ties. Oh look, one's come up already, lovely. Plastic. Gadisha and Nigella. So we'll see if they come up. Oh, one other thing. Oh, these are the asparagus that I grew from seed. This is now their second year. Look how many lovely shoots are coming up. The same with this one over here. Probably can't because of all the shade I'm casting with my big head. Look at those. Beautiful, eh? Like I say, the ones from seed did look like much nicer, even though they were smaller. But a lot more healthy plants, and obviously they've been grown in this climate, so they know exactly where they are. With your asparagus, once you start to get your tips about the size that you want, just cut them off a little bit underground with a nice sharp knife, and you can carry on. If they're mature plants, so like 3 years old or more, you can probably harvest them 4 to 6 weeks. Then after that, don't harvest anymore, let the ferns grow, otherwise you'll be taking too much energy from the plant and it won't have a chance to replace its energy for next year. Okay, so all that was about a week ago, so we've just fast forwarded now. It's April the 15th. This is just little snapshots and everything that I can get down to the plot during. As you can see, bit sunny day. Not had a single drop of rain yet in April, and looking at the weather forecast, don't know if I will actually. So much for the drip drip drop little April showers. Got bits and bobs done, to be honest with you. Motivation's been a little bit on the low side, just purely because of everything else that's happening and not been able to get down here too long. Got lots of blossom on my apple tree, and the other thing that I've managed to do as well, this top end up here where all the brambles were, that's all been cleared out now as well. All the brambles have been burnt. There's my ash. and the big pile of crap at the back as well. I've used some of the privet hedge that I trimmed off the top of this bad boy just to cover up, because that is a massive, great big pile of crap that I've cleared off of this land here. It was way too much, shopping trolleys and all that. I've only got a little car, so I couldn't get it all in there. So that's all cleared off there. That ash, that'll all clear off. Ash on your beds is absolutely fine. In fact, it's quite good for it in certain situations. Be careful how much you use though, because it can change the pH of your soil. So this is that top end now. It's not looking too bad. You can see, I think that's not too bad actually, to disguise that. Found an old bag of compost that somebody had dumped. That's that black spot up there. So, yes. So, at least now the second plot, hedge trimmed, that back bit cleared. Still see a bit of rubbish poking out there, but I'll sort that out. And then all the rest of it, all cleared down, waiting for motivation, inspiration, and I don't know, a cash injection I suppose. And there's my greenhouses, beautiful in the sunshine. And there's everything else. So yeah, the sun's been absolutely beating down. It's looking fantastic weather-wise. But like I say, very, very dry. Could do with some of them April showers to top my butt up. Let's take you on a quick look in the old greenhouse. Hello, this is my shadow. Looking a bit wide because of the isolation belly. So yeah, everything growing on great guns in here. Got me my dahlias. My leeks are starting to come up, looking a little bit more convincing. Gutter peas have started to sprout through, lovely as well. There's my lupins, more dahlias, my marigolds, and my lettuce at the back. That's my 2 trays of brassicas. And blooming garlic that I will do something with one day. Broad beans are going out tomorrow, I've decided. And just all my other sowings as well. There's my little mint in this little pot, looking lovely. So yeah, everything's survived the cold weather. The shallots that I planted down there, not doing much at the minute, but it has only been a couple of days. And there's a bit of life out of my first sunflowers that I sowed. In mid-April now. I've been holding off as much as I can, because every year, things get a little bit, come on, adjust. There we go. Hi. Every year things always go in a little bit early. The weather's quite unpredictable. People get the first warm spell like this and start throwing seeds in left, right and centre, and then wonder why they're all dying. Still very early in the year. We've had frosts this week, so there's no tomatoes or anything, chilies or anything like that going outside. So what I have done is I've sorted myself out 9 trays of compost here. That's 15 cells per tray, 9 times 15. What's that, 135 is it, something like that. So I'm going to do a bit of sowing. I've got my fun snake gourds here. I don't know why, I picked them up off Thompson & Morgan, thought there might be a laugh. Different style of sunflower here, this one's called Teddy Bear. So I'm going to try a few of them. I'm going to try a melon as well. So that's called Outdoor Wonder F1 Hybrid from Thompson & Morgan. So looking through that packet there, there's only about 5 seeds in there, so we'll give them a go. What's the other specials? More Atlantic giant pumpkins as well. I thought, you know what, I want a giant pumpkin. I'll have a go with the start of my sweet corn as well. I'm going to do the incredible F1. This has been an F1 variety. Try not to sow it around anything that's not an F1 variety, because it can cross-pollinate and reduce its sweetness. And there's another packet of the F1s from before. So yeah, I've been through everything that I want to sow about now. So I've got like my courgettes hiding in the shade there. I've got a marrow, courgettes and marrows. I only do, well, I usually do 2 or 3 plants, and that's more than enough courgettes forever. My cucumbers, they're going to go in as well today. A little bit of curly scarlet kale. Loads of sunflowers. What's this one called? Russian Giant. I think you will find our flowers very agreeable. And that's the word last time I ever try and do a Russian accent. Patty pan squish. I'm going to try them as well. They always come out dead nice every year. And then just another little general selection really. That's some more of the dills there. That's 100 weight. That's another massive pumpkin we're going to try. Yeah, so I'm really just going to get away and sow some of them. I know a lot of you will have already sowed them. I've seen pictures of you all on Facebook and other platforms, and you know, you guys are going great guns. Like I say, UK is a big place. From the very tippy top at the top to the very south coast, massive climate differences. So, you know, don't do what everyone else is doing. do what you want to do. Check your last frost date in your area. I've had frost here in early June. Last year it was quite an early frost, so I didn't have too much trouble, but if it is a later one, you've got yourself a heck of a lot of trouble. So the things that I'm not growing at this point, because it's still too early, the things I'm not going to sow rather, is my runner beans, my French dwarf beans, anything beany really. So it's just much too early. I've had them killed off by, you know, sort of 6-degree cold wind before, you know, let alone a frost. So them guys are really tender. You can get your bean pole frames up by all means, you know, get them all ready if your fingers are itching, but just hold off. I'm not going to sow any until May, and they grow ever so quick, honestly, runner beans and such. So you know, just hold off on them. Otherwise you're going to have a big problem. I've seen a picture on Facebook actually quite recently. A guy had done runner beans on his windowsill, and he had like those Venetian blinds, and the plants grew through the Venetian blinds and sort of twisted their way up it and that, and he had a great job trying to untangle them. So yeah, anyway, I digest. But yeah, I'm going to get some of these in right now. Remember to label everything. I can't say this enough. The amount of posts that I see, oh, do you know what this is? Do you know what that is? Because I forgot to label it or whatever. Label everything. You won't remember what you've planted. You won't recognise them. Well, half of them anyway. So, you know, just label everything. Just be meticulous. And that's just the best way. Otherwise you end up with a potluck sort of, oh, I wonder what I'm growing here. Is it a zucchini? No, it's not. It's a mallow. Anyway, right, I'm going to crack on now. Oh, spuds as well. I've still not put my spuds in. So I'm quite behind the curve on that. I'm sure the rest of the world's all got their spuds in. For me, again, I'll put them in and they'll probably show up 2-3 weeks after I put them in. Again, I'm going to aim for them to be showing their heads about the end of May, which is fine. The main crop needs 16 weeks to grow, so May, June, July, August, September, you know, there's your 16 weeks right there. You'll be harvesting in September, lovely. So, yeah, I'm going to hold off on my spuds. Everything else, I'm going to get cracking a bit of sowing now. Thank you very much. Hi guys, thought I'd give you a quick look at the sunflowers that I'm sowing this year. I know a lot of people enter this sunflower challenge. I enter it every year. I've not actually managed to get any decent results out of it or measure anything. So, do you know what I'm saying? This is what I'm going for this year. I've got 9 different varieties. Because hey, why not? I've got the little Leo there, that's a little bush type. I've got the teddy bear, which is a bit of an unusual one. He's like a little fluffy one. Got the Russian giant, which is going to be absolutely mammoth. Autumn Beauty, which are a nice sort of orangey rusty colour. I've got the giant single, which again grow to a very big height. Black Magic, again slightly unusual on this one because they're very deep red flowers on there. Chino Gold is a little bush type with multiple heads, absolutely beautiful. Titan again is another big boy, so we'll see if we can get a big one out of there. And Alchemy, which I've never tried before, but it's like a multi-headed variety. So there we go, that's the little selection of sunflowers that I've just sown for this year. Other than that, that is about it. As you can see, my beds are all still empty. Pretty much empty anyway, but like I say, still very early in the year. My greenhouse is, however, filling up. So, as you can see in there, all of them shelves are filling up now nicely with trays and bits and bobs and things and what's-its and oojamaflops, so looking a lot better in there. Me other greenhouse here, that one's still empty, but that's where I'm going to grow things on, like me tomatoes and me chilies and that. So, thank you very much once again for joining me here on my plot. It is amazing to have you here. So, till next time, thank you very much. Woo! Bye.